Welcome back to Underdog's Factory. My name is Tristan, and today we're going to be talking about how to stand out as a gaming channel on YouTube. Now, before we get started, I have a request for you. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. I want you to wait until the end of the video to answer them. Leave those answers in the comments section. But the questions are, why did you start your gaming channel? What problems are you trying to solve? Who is your core audience? I want you to take that information along with a link to your channel. Leave that in the description of this video. Now, the goal is that people are going to be able to see that and quickly identify who that audience is that you're trying to reach. And then if it's something they're interested in, then check out the channel. So a little bit of free advertising for you. I get some free engagement, which is great. And I get to learn a little bit more about you guys and the kind of content and problems that you're trying to solve. Okay? Now, real quick, if I see any sub-to-sub type stuff on here, you will get instant banned. So just keep that in mind. And also remember, I had absolutely no qualms with doing so. So that being said, let's go ahead and start talking about this a little bit. So we talked about standing out on YouTube. Why do we need to stand out on YouTube? Well, there are 23 million channels on YouTube right now. And as of last count, for every minute that passes, about 400 hours worth of video has actually gone up on the platform. Now, out of that group, about 15% is dedicated to gaming. So you're looking at about 3.45 million YouTube channels on the platform dedicated to gaming. And out of those 400 hours, about 60 hours are dedicated to video games. And all of those channels are trying to reach about 2.9 million gamers here in the US alone because we had the highest CPM. So how do you actually stand out among the crowd? I mean, what makes you different from the other 3.5 million people on YouTube playing video games? Well, it's not actually that difficult. It's a question of branding. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So first thing you need to do is you need to go to my website and you need to download my branding guide. It's free. It's available for everybody. You just need to put in your email address and then it'll send you to that page. What we did is we took a book called Primal Branding, and basically we went through, kind of stripped all the different parts and pieces out, and we turned it into a 3-page questionnaire that we send out to all of our clients whenever we start working with somebody new. Now, I highly recommend that you guys actually get the book. You can get it through Audible. It's free. I'll leave a link to that in the description and the comment for you guys as well. It's a really, really good book. And it kind of gives a little bit more context to some of the things that we're going to be talking about. So like if you start running into any problems, if it's something that we've really answered or talked about in these videos, get the book because that's going to answer your questions a lot more effectively. Now, just to give you guys an idea, we have used this exact same guide to create channels that have generated thousands and hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars worth of sales on YouTube. So year to date, so like just so far in 2019, we've actually done a little over $2.1 million in sales using this guide and the other guides that are available on, once you put in your email and you sign up for the email list and that stuff. So the stuff works and we have some experience with using it. Now this thing is 3 pages long. We don't have time to go over all the questions that are in this questionnaire. So what we're going to do instead is we're just going to go over that first segment, okay? The one that's called the creation story. And we're basically just going to ask and answer 3 questions. I want to know why you created your channel. I want to know what kind of problems you're trying to solve with your content. And I want to know who your audience actually is. Or another way you can think of that last one is who else has the same problem that you're trying to solve, okay? So that's our first step. So let me give you a little bit of an example. I have a little gaming channel. It's done about 25,000 in sales over the last 12 months. Cool. Pretty happy with that. And that's only with 400 subscribers. Not even 400. I think I have 392. So why did I create this gaming channel? Well, because I'm 32 years old. And I don't have a lot of time to play video games. I have work. I'm still going to school full time. I'm married. I have a dog. Like, I have a lot of other stuff that comes up, so I can't spend as much time playing video games as I'd actually like. And so if I get to like Dark Souls, right? Or most recently that Sekiro, the Samurai Dark Souls game, like I've been stuck on a boss now for like 2 weeks, right? And I just don't have the time to sit there and keep dying to the same thing over and over again. And so I need to find a way to get quick and easy solutions to the challenges that I'm facing in games. I don't have time to get good. And so I go to YouTube. I go to YouTube to find those answers. And what drives me crazy is seeing like some like little kid who's got that high-pitched squeaky voice. And it's a 20-minute long video on how to solve a 30-second problem. But they talk about, what's going on in school. And they're talking about like, oh yeah, I had finals this last week. And, all this other crap that has nothing to do with the actual solution that I'm trying to find. And so what I did is I decided I was going to make videos for people who are like me, who are kind of in that same situation, who don't have 30 minutes to watch a tutorial or like a full playthrough in order to figure out how to turn on the stupid resonators in Minecraft. And so I'm making little tiny bite-sized videos, bite-sized tutorials that talk about one thing, that answer the question, and then maybe go into a little bit of extra stuff that would be helpful if the person needs and wants it. So really short videos that are designed for adult gamers and who don't have 30 minutes to watch a whole playthrough because they're trying to find the answers to the questions, that way they can progress in the game. And it's interesting, Google actually released a study about a year ago saying that about 74% of people who go to YouTube looking at gaming stuff are going specifically to find information so that way they can play their games better. 74%. So there is definitely an audience for that kind of content on the platform. Now, there are a lot of reasons to start a YouTube channel. They don't have to be related to a tutorial series, right? Sometimes the problem that people have is just that they're bored. And so you can create an entertaining channel. You can create a personality channel where you're not necessarily highlighting the game, where instead you're using the game as an environment to show whatever else that you do that you think that you can help people with. So like the three main things that people go to YouTube for are inspiration, education, and entertainment, right? So your channel can fall into any of those groups as long as you're clear as far as why you're actually creating the channel and what the goal of the channel actually is. And that reason why you're creating the channel doesn't even necessarily have to do with the content itself. It could be that you want to make more money. You want to play video games for a living. I 100% support that. You are my friend and I will help you to do that. That's a good thing. That's a good reason to get into YouTube because you have a specific goal that you're trying to reach. You're not just like trying to help people. You're actually trying to do something. You have a set and measurable goal, which is cool. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But it is important to understand that why. It's important to understand that reason because that's going to affect the kind of content that you create in the future. Now, if my goal is to make these short, concise videos, I'm not going to make an hour-long playthrough of a game with really boring content in it. Like, there's no point. It's not that content doesn't help the person that I'm trying to help, right? It doesn't fill in the goal or the space that I'm trying to occupy. It doesn't do what I want it to do. And that's one of the reasons that you'll see channels who do like a huge mix of stuff. They do like some vlogs and some skits and some gaming and all this other stuff and try and mix everything together. They don't have a clear why. They don't have a clear reason for the channel to exist aside from like they like uploading videos, okay? The other thing is that they don't have a set problem that they're trying to solve. So if you don't have that problem in mind, in marketing we call this the pain point, then again, your content's going to be all over the place, and what might resonate with one person one day, and then you upload something completely different the next day. They're not going to watch that. And if they don't watch that, then you're not getting those impressions, but your click-through rate's going down. And if your click-through rate goes down, then like your watch time's going to go down, your views are going to go down, and YouTube's going to start promoting your stuff. And so that's why it's so important to get clear on that why. Now, the why leads us to the next point, which again, like I said, is the pain point. That's the problem that we're trying to solve. Let me give you a couple examples of other YouTubers that I personally watch and the pain points that they are addressing, okay? The first one is MF Pally Time. I love MF Pally Time. He's like this huge, squishy, hairy teddy bear. And the thing that resonates so much with the people who watch his content is that he's just a positive guy. He laughs, he makes jokes, he is a happy person when he's playing these games. And that happiness kind of rubs off on you. And that also makes him a lot of fun to watch, like he's just entertaining. And the thing that affects me personally is we have really similar taste in video games. And so if I know that he's enjoying a game, there's a good chance I'm going to like it too, and that makes my game decision buying choices a lot easier because I can just look into a pal he's playing, like, oh, that looks cool, I'm going to get it. And I've bought a lot of my games that way just because he's played them, I thought it looked good, I decided to get them too. And so in short, the three problems that he's trying to solve is 1, people need positivity in their lives, 2, people get bored, and 3, people need recommendations for games that they might actually enjoy playing, so that way they don't waste money on games that they're not going to like. Another YouTuber that I think does a really good job of having a very clear pain point that he addresses is called Mathiel. And what he does is he does build guides for a game called Path of Exile. It's an action RPG, it has like this really complicated passive tree, and like there's all kinds of randomness and like customization and tweaking, and like it's really cool. But it can be a very, very complex game for people who are just getting into it. And There are some other things about it too, but basically what he does is he provides build guides. Okay, he teaches you how to build a certain character using specific skills or specific items and how well they perform from beginning to end game. Now, to give you guys an idea, to get from beginning to end game, like just by yourself, usually takes like 3 to 4, sometimes 5 days for like a semi-casual player. And so that's a lot of time to sink into a character without knowing if you're actually going to like it at the end, or knowing if it's actually going to be viable for whatever you want to do once you reach the end of the game. And so what he does is he provides these guides. He shows you how to build a character, tells you what kind of items to look for, and then he shows you like how well performers doing the different tasks within the game. He saves players a lot of time and he gives them a lot of ideas as far as things that they may not have actually tried in the game. And so the pain points that he's solving is that he is making it easier for new players to get into the game because he's providing all these really good guides, and he's also giving you some ideas as far as other things that you can do in order to try something else in the game and kind of get a little bit of variation to it. So those are his pain points. And he does a really, really good job of sticking to those and providing that content for his viewer base, who appreciate the work that he does because he's solving our problems. The pain point that I'm trying to solve here with this channel is I'm trying to help YouTube gamers who want to get more views on their videos, but not just more views, who want to make more money off of those videos and turn their gaming channels into a career. And so again, I'm not going to do a Minecraft tutorial on this channel because it has absolutely nothing to do with the pain point that I'm trying to resolve. It's not helping you with that problem. So my content is going to be focused around the problem that I want to solve. Now, the last question that we have in this first segment is, who else could benefit from the product? Now, product in this case typically refers to like the videos you're actually making or your channel itself, okay? It's your content. So the question is, who is going to be your core audience? Who are the people who have this problem that you're trying to resolve, and how do you reach them? Like, what questions are they asking? How do they word things? And there's a few different ways that you can do this. Now, at a very top, simple level, probably the easiest thing to do would be to go to like Facebook groups and look for groups of people who are looking for whatever it is that you're trying to provide. A lot of times that can be like finding a specific Facebook group for the game that you're playing. Or another place that I really like going to is Reddit, and pay attention to the questions that they're asking. Look and see what kind of problems they're actually stating that they have, and then look for ways that you can help fix those, as long as it coincides with your reason for starting the channel and again those problems that you're wanting to resolve overall. Now, don't spam your videos in these groups because that will instantly lose any credit that you've picked up, and you're going to hurt yourself in the long run. Instead, use those communities to come up with ideas, to learn more about your audience, and don't try shoving your videos down their throat. If you're answering the questions that they have with your videos, when they go to YouTube to look for that answer, you're going to show up because you're going to be optimizing your videos in a way that people can actually find them. And if you don't know how to do that, we actually have a video. Click on the card thing right here. The next thing you can do that's a little bit more technical and a little bit more advanced is to get into keyword reports and search traffic data and trend data, which are things that we teach in our course, which actually just launched. So if you want to learn how to do this stuff, go check that out. We also provide some free keyword reports to people who have joined our email list. You can do that, again, through the links in the description and the comments, where we actually give you lists of keywords or tags that you can use for your videos or ideas of video content that you can create. These reports will tell you how many searches there are in Google every month for a specific word or phrase, and then that will help you determine whether or not a subject is going to be popular in YouTube, so you can decide whether or not it's worth creating the videos. Now, we don't have search volume data for YouTube. Despite whatever tool or whoever else says, YouTube doesn't actually give out any of this information. We do have some tools that give you some best estimates, like they'll take the Google search data, they'll compare it to like Google Trends, and like some of their own internal data they can collect. So things like TubeBuddy and vidIQ, which are helpful, but don't trust the numbers that tell you there are 1 million searches a month for this, because there may not be 1 million searches a month for it. And again, we do teach you guys how to do all this stuff in the course, so if you want to check that out, go check it out. But once you've identified that audience, once you know who that core audience is going to be, the next thing we need to do is just bring them in and make sure that the messaging, the branding behind the channel, all coincides with what that problem is that they're trying to solve, and we present that to them in the best way that we can. Now that's segment one, okay? There are 6 more of these things. So download the guide and you can go through these things one by one. And the idea is to build up the message behind your channel so that you know exactly who you are, who your audience is, and how you're going to talk to them. And I know it's a lot of work, but at the same time, this is something that's helped us literally generate millions of dollars in sales because we're able to get the messaging right. So 2 last things before I end the video. First, remember the invitation that I made at the beginning where I told you guys to let me know why you created your channel, what your pain points are, or the ones that you're trying to solve, and who your core audience is, along with the link to your channel. Now that we've kind of had a time to talk about this, let me know in the comments why you started your channel. Tell me that stuff, and don't forget, like I said, link to your channel so we can come and check that out. The other thing, and this is something that happens a lot, and this is kind of a big issue, is a lot of times when we ask these questions and somebody say, well, my audience is gamers. Like, no, it's not. it's not gamers, okay? There is such a huge range of gamers, right? Of needs that these gamers have that saying, oh, I want to help all gamers. I want to help everybody. You don't want to help everybody, okay? Because look at the differences between a mobile gamer and a PC gamer, okay? Completely different platforms, completely different types of games, completely different communities and ways of looking at gaming, right? Look at a kid gamer versus an adult gamer. Again, totally different needs, totally different problems that they're facing. Look at the difference between somebody who plays racing games and somebody who plays fighting games. There's such a huge difference between these two groups, even though they're all gamers, but they don't have the same problems. They don't have the same needs, and so we can't address all of those needs on a single channel, okay? What you'll want to do is pick that group. Get specific. Like, usually we try to go down 3 levels, right? So gamers, okay, what kind of gamers? Adult gamers, okay, what kind of adult gamers are we talking about? Adult gamers who like Pixelmon, okay? You can even go down further. Adult gamers who like Pixelmon and who want to do like a Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow playthrough, you know, with like an adventure map. And then that can be your core audience. And that will allow you to speak directly to them and give them exactly the things that they need. So do not try to target everybody. Everybody is not your core audience. And neither are gamers. So, something else to keep in mind. So, go download the guide, and then the other thing I suggest that you guys do is you watch our video on the YouTube algorithm. It kind of gives you an idea of how what we've been talking about with our messaging, with our branding, with the core audiences, and the pain points actually affects the algorithms. That way the robots know who to promote your videos to. So, you'll see a link to that on screen. My name is Tristan from Underdog's Factory. Hope you have an excellent day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.